It's finally happening. State governments will begin sending out payments to millions of taxpayers. The IRS also revealed a big stimulus check announcement for many households with children. And new $3,600 stimulus payments will be available very soon. So here's some big news. Democratic lawmakers in the House and Senate have finally reached a deal for the state budget surplus. The Illinois governor said the plan will provide $1.8 billion in relief for taxpayers. In the proposed budget, suspends a tax on groceries for 1 year, freezes the motor fuel tax for 6 months, and doubles the property tax rebate up to $300 per household. The plan also provides direct checks to families making less than $200,000 for an individual household or $400,000 for joint filers, with $50 per individual and $100 per child, up to 3 children per family. The governor's office has announced that the plan will also include back-to-school tax relief for families and teachers. The governor's office said the plan includes $1 billion contribution to the Budget Stabilization Fund and an additional $200 million pension payout. In the official statement, the governor said, "Our plan delivers more than $1.8 billion in tax relief to Illinois residents, adds $1 billion to our state's long-depleted rainy day fund, and doubles down on our efforts to make unprecedented investments in public safety." The Senate Republican leader released a statement saying, in part, "What is most unfortunate about the Democrats' budget plan is we have an opportunity right now to provide permanent tax relief for the people of Illinois. Yet instead, the Democrats are choosing to provide one-time checks." So friends, if you filed taxes independently in 2021 and made under $200,000, you will be getting at least a $50 check in the mail. Joint filers who have brought home less than $400,000 in 2021 will get a $100 check. That means the max amount of money for an individual filer could get is $350, and the most a joint filer could get is $400. The deadline for most taxpayers to file a 2021 tax return was already April 18th, but days prior to that date, around 66 million filers had yet to send in the tax declaration. But the IRS is still accepting tax annual income reports, and the sooner you file, the better. The IRS urges all people, even those who are not required to file this year, especially given the enhanced tax credits which were available for the 2021 fiscal year, including the child tax credit. The agency advises those taxpayers who owe taxes to file now to limit penalties and interest. Taxpayers that don't owe taxes will not be penalized for filing late and can still claim the child tax credit for the 2021 tax year.
Related to the nominations be printed in the record and that the President be immediately notified of the Senate's action.
Without objection. The question is on the nominations en bloc. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The nominations are confirmed en bloc.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate consider the following nominations: 242, 868, 869, 870, 871, 872, 873, 874, 875, 876, 877, 878, 879, 880, 881, 882, 883, and 884. And all nominations on the Secretary's desk in the Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Space Force. That the nominations be confirmed en bloc, the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate. That no further motions be in order to any of the nominations, that the President be immediately notified of the Senate's action, and the Senate resume legislative session.
Without objection.
Mr. President, I have 3 requests for committees to meet during today's session of the Senate. They have the approval of the majority and minority leaders.
Duly noted.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the consideration of SRES 603 submitted earlier today.
The clerk will report.
SRES 603, recognizing and supporting the goals and ideals of National Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month.
Without objection, the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the resolution be agreed to, the preamble be agreed to, and that the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table with no intervening action or debate.
Without objection.
And finally, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that when the Senate completes its business today, it adjourn until 3 p.m. on Monday, May 2nd, and that following the prayer and the pledge, the morning hour be deemed expired, the journal of proceedings be approved to date, the time for the 2 leaders be reserved for their use later in the day, and morning business be closed, that upon the conclusion of morning business, the Senate proceed to executive session to resume consideration of the Frost nomination. Further, that the cloture motions filed...
Joe Biden also wants to send out more direct stimulus checks to people this year. There's also very important news for families that are expected to receive an expanded monthly child tax credit payment.
Child tax credit and the earned income tax credit, which together are the biggest step to help families and working people in this country in a generation. We tripled the earned income tax credit, which meant that 17 million workers without children benefited from it.
Now folks, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information, so you want to be sure to continue watching this video. So we all know the expanded monthly child tax credit payments were temporarily paused back in December, but there's still more money coming to people for 2022. Now that tax season has arrived. The final enhanced child tax credit payment for 2021, including any money you didn't receive in advance, will arrive with your tax refund. The final payment will be at least half of the total child tax credit, or more if you opted out of advance payments, added a new child to the family, or significantly changed your income last year. To make sure you get the rest of your money, keep track of letter 6419 from the IRS. It's going to tell you how much money you received in 2021 and the number of qualifying dependents used to calculate payments. And make sure all the information on the letter is accurate before filing your taxes, otherwise there will be a delay in your tax refund. The IRS started sending out letters to families in late December. If you haven't received yet, keep an eye on your mailbox, because some people and their letters are still in transit. That letter contains important information about your child tax credit payments that you're going to need to double check for accuracy. For instance, the number of dependents used to determine the amount of money you get. If you don't receive a letter or lose it, don't panic. All the important information that you need for your 2021 tax return can be found on the IRS website with an online IRS account. In fact, because of some reporting errors in letter 6419, the IRS recommends double checking your information on the IRS website. They insist that the information in your online account is accurate and up to date. If you and your family meets the eligibility requirements and you received each advance payment between July and December 2021, you can expect to receive up to $1,800 for each child ages 5 and younger, or up to $1,500 for each child between the ages of 6 and 17, just when you file your 2021 taxes. There is no limit on the number of children who are eligible for the expanded child tax credit, but your income will affect the amount of credit you receive. The credit starts decreasing at $75,000 income, at $75,000 of income for single filers, or $150,000 for those filing married jointly. It phases out completely at $220,000 and $440,000 respectively. If you opted out of partial payments before the first check went out, you'll get your eligible amount with your tax refund, up to $3,600 per child under 6 and $3,000 per child ages 6 to 17. Any payments you missed due to IRS errors or because you unenrolled should be included with your tax refund. And if you're missing money from one of the previous checks due to an IRS error or outdated information, well, either wait for the issue to be resolved when you file your taxes, or you can file a payment trace with the IRS. Note that if you gained a dependent since then, the IRS wouldn't have that information on file. If that's your case, you won't get any money until you file taxes. If you had a baby by the end of December or adopted one, you'll be eligible for up to $3,600 for that child when you file your taxes, everybody. That includes back pay for the July through December advance payments and the chunk coming with your refund. You should get that money when you claim your child on your tax credit, folks.